If you've spent any time at all with data on the internet, you know JSON. It's everywhere. It's the universal language for describing, well, things. But what if that data could do more than just describe? What if it could actually think? Today, we're diving into a project that's trying to do just that.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if every time an app sent some JSON, it wasn't just a list of facts, but a set of instructions, a series of actions to take? That one simple idea is the whole point behind something called JSE, or JSON Structural Expression. And yeah, it could totally change how we build smart systems.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with a quick refresher on why JSON is king, and then get into a big problem it's facing with modern AI. After that, we'll introduce this really clever solution, JSE, break down exactly how it pulls it off, and then wrap up with why this is such a big deal for the future of AI and automation.
All right, first things first, JSON itself. The best way to think about it is like a universal shopping list, a list of ingredients. It's amazing at listing out all the nouns of the internet. You know, users, products, settings. It tells you what things are.
Yeah, its absolute superpower is describing data that just sits there. A user profile, a product description. It's like taking a digital photograph of something. It's a description, not a command. And for a long, long time, that was more than enough. But you can probably guess, things are starting to change.
And this is where we run into what I'm calling the AI logic problem. See, the ingredients list isn't cutting it anymore. Now we need the full recipe. AI models are getting shockingly good at spitting out perfect JSON. But we're not just asking them to describe things anymore. We're asking them to figure out a whole sequence of steps to get something done.
And right here, you can see the problem clear as day. On one side, you've got your classic JSON, perfect for listing facts, describing a state of being, the nouns. But on the other side is what AI needs to do now. Describe a process, define steps, put actions together, the verbs. We need a bridge between these two worlds.
So how do you do it? How do you solve this? Well, this is where JSE comes in, and it is a wonderfully clever hack. It's not some brand new language that's going to replace JSON. No way. Instead, it's just a simple, elegant set of rules that you layer right on top of it. It's how we add those verbs to the internet's nouns without breaking a single thing. And you don't have to take my word for it. The project's own definition says it perfectly. JSE basically takes the structure of S expressions, a really powerful idea that famously comes from the Lisp programming language, and applies it directly to normal JSON. S expressions are a genius way of representing code as if it were data, and JSE brings that power right into the JSON world. So why do it this way? What's the big win? Well, first, and this is crucial, it is always 100% valid JSON. That means all the tools you already use still work right out of the box. Second, it gives you that structured logic that AI needs. Third, a machine can read it with zero ambiguity. It knows exactly what to do. And finally, it gives you all this power without becoming a whole new complicated programming language, which keeps things safe and simple. Okay, so that's the why. Now let's get into the how. How does this thing actually work? Well, it all boils down to just a couple of very simple rules that make ordinary JSON a whole lot smarter. And it all begins right here with this one little character, the $sign. In JSE, any string that starts with a $sign isn't just a string anymore. It becomes what's called a symbol. And that symbol is basically a flag that tells the parser, whoa, hold on, pay attention. What's coming next isn't just data, it's an instruction. It's an action to be interpreted. And JSE gives you two ways to structure these instructions. First is the array form. It's super simple and positional. The symbol $add is the function, and 1 and 2 are the things it works on. Easy. Then you have the object form, which is awesome for when you want named arguments. This is incredibly useful for more complicated operations. Both are clean, clear, and a piece of cake for a computer to understand. Of course, you're probably thinking, okay, but what if I actually need a string that starts with a $sign for, money or something? Well, they thought of that. The solution is dead simple. You just double it up. $2 signs at the start basically tell the JSE parser, hey, ignore me. I'm just a regular string. So simple, so effective. And there's one more critical tool in the kit, the @quote operator. Think of this as putting a big do not touch sign on a piece of your data. It tells the system, whatever's inside of this, do not try to want it. Just pass it along exactly as it is. This is so important for when you're handling data that might look like an expression, but really just needs to be treated as plain old info. So we've gone through the what and the how.
Now let's zoom all the way back out and connect this back to the why. Why is this simple set of rules such a potentially huge deal? It's all about building a cleaner, safer, and way more powerful communication channel for AI. And that is absolutely critical for what's coming next in automation.
And here's the real payoff. AI models are already fantastic at generating JSON, so asking them to generate JSE is a super natural next step. And what do our systems get in return? They get instructions that are perfectly structured, completely unambiguous, and can express way more complex and creative logic than a lot of the standard protocols we use today, like basic tool calls.
And this isn't just a cool idea on a whiteboard. JSE is a practical tool you can use today. There are already implementations for a ton of the most popular languages out there. You've got Java, Python, Rust, TypeScript, the gang's all here. You can literally start building with this right now. So when you boil it all down, this is the takeaway. JSE creates a simple, robust, and most importantly, safe bridge between the incredible reasoning power of an AI and the raw execution power of a computer. It lets the AI give instructions in a language the machine can understand perfectly, every single time. No guesswork needed. So I'll just leave you with this thought. It's such a tiny change, isn't it? A simple little convention built around a single character. But by adding this layer of logic to the internet's most common data format, could that humble $sign be the key that unlocks the entire next wave of truly intelligent applications? It's a pretty amazing thing to think about. Thanks for watching.